Everybody come see us on tour. We'll be in Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Governor Newsom was having some kind of debate with DeSantis, and listen to what DeSantis had to say. Listen to this.
So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California to Florida, and he was telling me that Florida is much better governed, safer, better budget, lower taxes, all this stuff. And he's really happy with the quality of life. And then he paused and he said, by the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law. So we do count Gavin's in-laws as some of the people that have fled California and come to the state of Florida.
And then Gavin's mom walked in and asked if she could suck my dick.
That's going to be an awkward Thanksgiving.
I mean, Gavin Newsom has driven more people out of California than U-Haul. Come on. I don't know if his in-laws actually moved to Florida or were they just sent by Newsom to pick up some more bronzer. Am I right? So anyway, I just somehow I came across that clip and I thought it was perfect because you were on the show and you moved out of California.
We just had a whole initiative pass where we basically all agreed that shoplifting and doing drugs in public is bad, right? 70% of the people vote for it. Who are the 30% that didn't vote for this? Like, who are you? Where are you? Can you please move to San Francisco and get out of LA? Because I think we all agree shoplifting is bad.
So I'm one of that 30%.
You don't think shoplifting is bad?
No, I think shoplifting is bad. I think they could stop it if they wanted to. Yeah. And without making it a felony. And when you would say, they're stealing from TJ Maxx or whatever, I'm like, well, why doesn't TJ Maxx pay somebody $20 an hour to fucking be security guards there?
That's what
they're making billions of dollars to say. So those places make billions and billions of dollars. You know how much it costs to put somebody in jail for 1 year? $130,000 a year for one person in California. How about we take that money and hire a fucking security guard at the goddamn TJ Maxx? That's my point. I don't think we need to put more people in prison. And I don't want to put people in prison for drugs, for personal possession of drugs. How about we help those people and put them in rehab? Because those people aren't criminals, they're sick. That's what I feel. What do you think, Dr. Drew?
You're not allowed to.
You're not allowed. Oh,
not allowed
to. Tell people this. They don't know this. Tell people.
Yeah, you have to. You're not allowed to say, come with me. You're not allowed to do anything.
So if there's a homeless person who's on drugs,
you're not allowed
the law prohibits you from
doing anything unless they say, I'm going to kill myself right now. And if they, on the way to the hospital, I'm just kidding, you got to let them go.
That's unbelievable.
Well, then maybe we change that law.
Yes.
Right? That's the law we need to change.
That's the Landrum and Petra Short Act. That needs to change. All this needs to change. It all needs to change. So you can go, Roseanne, come with me. We're going to help you. And that's it.
You're not funny. Fuck you.
Are you against bringing back mental facilities? Jimmy, are you against bringing back mental facilities?
No, but that's true, and it's so sad. Everything's upside down, all the laws. You know what I was going to say? You know why they don't arrest them? Because then the store claims it on their insurance.
That's right.
And the taxpayer picks it
I'll take the L.
That's right. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was some kind of coordinated bullshit with the deep So that's the only reason. So I'm all for arresting shoplifters. I'm all for getting drugs off the streets.
That's my whole thing.
I'm all for that. But I think
people's lives. These are progressive illnesses that end in death.
Yes.
We are the only country on earth that doesn't treat brain diseases when people's brains are broken. You can't see what's happening to them. We go, don't you want to come with me? No, you don't? Okay. Lay there in your feces until you're dead. And then, there's another one gone.
So how do we change that law, Doctor?
It's very simple. You make it, you can't do drugs. If you get caught by the courts, you got to go to the treatment. You go to treatment.
That's what I
whatever.
Wasn't it used to be like that?
In most states, it's like that. They're called drug courts, and they're very good at following up and making sure you do what you're supposed to do, and they motivate them to get well. And guess what? They don't die. They get well.
Yeah, but you know what? I have to point out something here. How is the prison industrial complex supposed to make a profit?
Yeah,
it's hard to do that.
Are you
it's
against
not a good business?
Are you two or anybody here against mental facilities?
No, we need. So that's the thing. When
Reagan shut them down.
Yeah.
Reagan did not shut them down.
He did not.
John Kennedy signed the Community Mental Health Act. It was his last act before he went to Dallas.
Oh,
And it was to defund all state hospitals and set up community mental health centers. It was run by the National Institute of Mental Health, which was a catastrophe at that time, run by psychoanalysts who had never seen a psychiatric hospital, had never seen chronic psychiatric illness, and they stated their goal was to prevent psychiatric illness, which we cannot do to this very day. And then, when they were abject failures, then Reagan closed down the community mental health centers.
Oh no! So what should we do?
State hospitals closed. The patients were disgorged to the streets, the nursing homes, and the prisons.
Yep.
None of the places where they belong. We build, and we still have a mindset in this country where we watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and we thought we were watching a documentary. And by the way, that was nearly 100 years ago. That was the 50s and 60s. We have very different kinds of psychiatric care now. 75 years ago. Psychiatric care is lovely and effective and state of the art. We should fucking build more residential facilities, train more psychiatrists, and not let people die on our streets at 6 a day in this county. 6 a day.
So why do you think they don't do that?
I can't, because they're there's a kid wrote a book called Crooked Smile. His name is Klickstein. You guys anybody interviewed him?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
He's made the rounds. Yeah,
he's a very good friend of mine.
Okay, he told me, you tell me if this is true or not. He's a recovering heroin addict. He was on the streets for many years, right? Stealing to maintain his habit, going into the 7-Eleven or whatever and stealing shit. And he said that they would give him his drugs, give him his needles, and pat him on the back and say, as soon as communism is in, then you're going to be fine. But in the meantime, you're a victim of capitalism.
Right.
Every person.
Oh.
He said that. And that's who's helping people with chronic, life-threatening mental illness on our streets.
Other people with chronic mental illness.
Are there such a person?
Well, Marxists are chronically mentally ill.
What is?
Marxists are
Oh,
chronically
that's a different kind of mental
mentally
illness.
ill.
It's
Jimmy.
a delusional disorder.
Yeah, it's a delusion.
Why can't we build the mental health industrial complex? Why does it only make money in
if we could have a
prisons and not-
prison industrial complex, why can't we have a mental
It's
health?
really easy.
Right.
It doesn't need to be that big. It's not hard to run. I've run those programs. There are people who know how to build them, know how to run them. We could do it no problem. Something called the Trieste Plan. Look into that. That's what we should do. Build.
And so is there
We're
just
done.
not enough lobbying money behind that idea?
There is this weird world of activists that hate me. I was almost on the committee to set up resources for the homeless. They lobbied against me like I was some sort of maniac.
You know, Scientology is very much involved in hating on psychiatry.
I'm not even a psychiatrist. I'm an internist, addictionologist.
No, but you said psychiatric
Hey,
health.
listen, by the way, I walk past that Scientology Museum of Psychiatry, and sometimes I think, well, they got a point. because I saw a lot of that shit. I saw a lot of the psychosurgeries and stuff. I got all those people as patients 30 years after. Psychosurgery, opiates, COVID, American medicine goes through these delusional trends of enthusiasm, evangelical enthusiasms, and sticking an ice pick up somebody's nose and swinging it around was one of those enthusiasms.
Well,
Freud pioneered that.
Freud.
No, it was a Spaniard. He got the Nobel Prize for it.
No kidding.
Freud did that to his niece.
No, Kennedy did that to his Kennedy's dad
Oh,
did that.
you're no decent conspiracy. I swear to God, Doc.
I'll tell you, Freud had a cocaine-addicted friend.
He
Freud?
stuck an instrument up his niece's nose because he thought that it was in that particular pituitary or pineal gland or whatever where sexual frenzy in women came from.
Wow.
You don't know that? You didn't study that?
I studied sexual frenzy in women, but not the pineal gland.
But you didn't. You did. I don't mean personally. I mean professionally. You didn't study Freudian history or where.
I do know a bit about it, yeah.
Well,
But
you
that
should-
one
Freud was on cocaine, right?
his friend, he thought cocaine. Why am I talking so much? I'm not a.
Keep going.
We like
He
it.
thought he discovered the first antidepressant with cocaine, and he
And a
was
cure
right.
for heroin addiction. He thought cocaine was a cure
There
for
was,
heroin.
and there was a lot of that kind of shit going on. We still do that kind of stuff.
It is a cure. Ask Kamala Harris.
And until his friend got cocaine psychosis, and then he backed off.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to the show. And there was a woman, by the way, who went to vote, and you can't wear any campaign paraphernalia. And they said you can't come in and vote because she had a Trump shirt on. And so she was like, fuck it, I'll just take my shirt off. And that woman was Roseanne Barr. Hey, I believe in having a substantial percentage of my financial future secured with gold and silver. That's why I decided to partner with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secure self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market or, for that matter, what the government is doing. Let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We put together a special offer for our audience. Click on the link in the description below or call the special 888 number, and you can receive up to $7,500 in free silver on a qualified purchase. Everybody, come see us on tour. We'll be in Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.